Welcome back to Notes Edition, where I read notes off of my phone. Today's note is called, What is Four-Year Cycle Theory? The four-year cycle theory is the widely held observation that so far, Bitcoin has repeated a four-year pattern over and over again. 3 years moving up in price, followed by 1 year moving down in price. There's a 3-year bull market and a 1-year bear market. Then the cycle repeats. The theory behind why this hyperwave pattern plays out so predictably is rooted in Bitcoin's halving cycles. Every 4 years, the inflation rate of Bitcoin gets cut in half. This inflation adjustment is embedded into Bitcoin's code, and it happens automatically once every 4 years. The idea is that because we can predict that the supply of new Bitcoin will get smaller and smaller with time, we can assume price will increase as long as demand for Bitcoin remains the same or increases. When a halving event occurs, the new supply of Bitcoin entering circulation is suddenly cut in half. When people are trying to buy Bitcoin, there's suddenly less available, which causes a supply shock. There's not enough Bitcoin to go around. This causes a bidding war for Bitcoin that lasts a year or two, forcefully driving up the price at an unsustainable pace until the panic buying frenzy causes Bitcoin to become overpriced. People get exhausted of buying, and the price collapses back down to a more normal range, at which point another halving event starts up the process all over again. For years, Bitcoin traders, investors, and analysts have debated whether or not it will ever be possible to break the four-year cycle, and if and when that might happen and why. The price pattern might eventually stray from this predictable four-year price movement splashing around on the surface, but the underswell of Bitcoin halving events is locked into place, repeating once every 4 years for the next 100 years, which has an undeniable influence on the scarcity of new supply available. The only way to change this supply schedule, the stock-to-flow model of Bitcoin issuance, is to convince every computer running Bitcoin's network protocol to change the rules of Bitcoin. Why is that unlikely? The computers running Bitcoin software, Bitcoin nodes, are spread out across the world. Some of them are anonymous, and most of these nodes don't know each other personally. It seems unlikely that these Bitcoin miners would or could ever unanimously change this rule about Bitcoin, because the current supply model causing the four-year cycle is in their best self-interest. The scarcity of Bitcoin is a driving factor in sending the price higher, which is the number one reason these computers are trying to mine Bitcoin. They all want to make a profit. If every computer agreed to change the rules of Bitcoin, they could break what makes Bitcoin so compelling and profitable. If you're smart enough to mine Bitcoin, you're smart enough to protect the rules. For now, the four-year cycle theory has proven to be a highly accurate model for predicting the macro waves of Bitcoin's price movement. Yet as Bitcoin evolves, anything is possible. As many Bitcoin analysts like to say, all predictive models are wrong, some are useful. And that's today's note.